A very good evening to one and all present here. I am Mansi Chaudhary from Priyadarshini College of Engineering. Our today's session is organized by Training and Placement Department of Priyadarshini College of Engineering. Today, we have among us a place student from Priyadarshini College of Engineering, Mr. Rajat Kokade. His branch is Information Technology, and it gives me an immense pleasure to say that he has been placed in four companies, namely Tata Consultancy Services, Cognizant, InfoCepts, and Capgemini. He is also a great anchor, secretary at Road Track Club of PCE, secretary at Digitix Intech IT Department Forum, and has done a course at graphic designing. Congratulations, Rajat. I'm sure today's interview session with you would be very interesting. So, without wasting our time, let's get it started. So, my first question is very basic that all must want to know. How you prepared for your interview?
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Mansi, for a wonderful description from of mine. It is immense pleasure to share my experiences with everyone present here. So the question was how I prepared for my interviews. Okay, to be very honest, the interview mail comes before 2 to 3 or a week before the interview. First of all, you need to clear the exams or the test that the company conducts. After that, you get shortlisted for the interview. So it comes before 2 to 3 days or a week from the interview. Those 2 to 3 days are hectic. You are supposed to give your 100% in that those 2 to 3 days. uh, in my case, I prepared a hell lot in the 2 to 3 days time. I woke up at nights. I studied late nights. I had everything. The main thing was we should brush up on the basic concepts that the company wants. I brushed up all my basic topics. I prepared aptitude as well, and I brushed up on my language. That's all I did for my interview preparation. Thank you so much, Mansi.
The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today.
Yes.
I know that company people always ask a bit tricky questions. What kind of questions they ask you when you go for the company interview?
Okay, so the company HRs are the trickiest people on the planet. They like want to bring out most of it from us. Uh, उनको चाहिए कि उनको सब कुछ मिले वो पर्सन से. They see through what the person carries, what abilities that person has, and they bring out everything from your side. They actually test that what kind of technical skills you possess, what kind of abilities you possess, how your communication skills are, because for their job role they want everything in a person. So they ask you questions based on technical aspects. They sometimes ask you aptitude questions as well, and overall they see that what kind of communication skills you possess. That's all they ask.
So you were able to solve all the tricky questions they kept forward.
Yeah, most of the times I was able enough to crack the questions and I got through them.
Internship plays a vital role in a student's life. So how many internship you have done before the placement?
I have done two internships. During the lockdown phase, as I was in third year, there was a hype among students that we need to do an internship so that we get a basic idea of how the industry works. So, me being a fresher, I also wanted an internship. So, I went on to Internshala, applied there, and got an internship in graphic designing. My internship played a very vital role in explaining me that how the industry works. I came to know that how industry works, how the procedure goes on, and how I should work in the industry. My first internship was a graphic designing internship in talktoneha.com. Then in the month of July, I started my second internship. That was a remote internship. I had to go to the office and work whole day. That internship gave a hell lot of confidence to me that yes, the industry works in this way. I learned various aspects of the industry there, uh, testing, development, and everything. I worked as an Android developer. I worked in StudSafe Infotech, that is a small startup based in Nagpur, and the experience there was amazing. And that taught me how I should in your recruitment.
Okay. So how did you prepare yourself before the interview? Did you got stressed up before the interview? And if yes, then how did you overcome that?
Okay, being very honest, interviews are hectic. So any person would get stressed up before the interview. That is a natural phenomena. But we need to understand that yes, this is the last chance. This is the only opportunity you have, and you need to crack this anyhow. My first interview experience was with Persistent. That was my first ever interview for the placement stuff. That went on bad because I got panicked and I lost control. Like I messed up with my confidence level. My confidence level went so low. But that interview taught me many things. That interview taught me that how I should present myself, how I should how I should answer the questions, and how I should be confident enough. After that interview, when I gave my next interview, I was confident enough. I had the skills. I knew what to speak and what to not, and I maintained that calm level or that patience level and gave the answers in the proper manner. So that's what you need to learn. And yes, stress is a regular thing that always comes in your head, but you need to be focused and you need to be calm. That's it.
Okay, so that's great.
Yeah.
So, being a second year engineering student, I'm eager to know about the interview process. And I know that everyone has their own process or journey, we can say. So, what was yours?
Okay, so the recruitment journey you would like to know about. It started from the second year onwards. Being an engineering student, every student hopes that he or she gets a placement in the final year. That's for sure. So I started preparing from the second year, not with that much efforts, but few efforts. I started learning languages in the second year, joined some tuitions, and got to know about languages. Then, when I came in the second year, I saw my seniors getting placed, and that created a urge in me that Rajat, you should also get placed. So I started preparing nicely in the third year. I learned languages, I practiced coding, I learned aptitude as well. There were my friends who supported me in this time, and that went all so well that when there was the campus recruitment process in the month of July, September, I was able to crack through the rounds, the coding rounds and the technical rounds because I have learned them earlier. Then after that, the interview process, I think that I have good communication skills, and those, just I needed that confidence level that I built it gradually, and that went on so well. I should recommend you guys to start preparing from the second year onwards because it becomes easy for you to crack the interviews and crack the placements in the final year.
Okay. So, what was your parents' reaction when you told them that you have been placed in 4 companies?
Okay, so the four companies came one by one. Uh, I remember my first interview with Persistent that went on bad. I told my mom that mummy माझा interview छान नाही गेला है. She was like, okay, she supported me through that time. She told me that okay, काही नाही होत, you can do better, and it gave a great amount of confidence in me. And I prepared myself thoroughly for the next interview. It was with Cognizant. I prepared day and night for that interview, and I gave it so well that I got placed. So when the offer letter arrived, I called my dad. I told him, Papa, I got placed. My dad was like, okay, congratulations. There was no such great amount of pleasure because we know Indian fathers are a little bit less expressive. But when I told my mom, she was so happy. She told me that, "Yeah, okay, Rajat, you have achieved what you wanted." And then after 2 to 3 days, I called them again. Mom, dad, I got placed again. Then I called him again after 2 3 days. I told him, Mom, dad, I got one more placement, and that went on for 4 times. And now they are so proud of me and they are so happy that I have achieved what I wanted. Yes, that was their reaction. And yes, I can proudly say that my parents are proud of me.
Yeah, deep inside, they would definitely be proud of it, and you are worth it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Share one thing that you learned from all your interviews.
Okay, so after giving this many interviews, I learned one thing that it's all in your mindset. My first interview went bad because I didn't have the proper mindset. I had less confidence. I wasn't able to speak properly the main points. But after that, I learned that, and it's all about your mindset. You need to be focused, you need to be calm, and you need to answer straight to the point. That's the key. That's the secret behind getting placed. You should be focused and you should be confident enough.
Okay, this will definitely help all of us. Would you
Yes.
mind sharing your interview problems that you faced?
Okay. interview problems, let me be very honest. The interview process goes on for around half an hour or sometimes 1 hour as well. So you need to drink a lot of water, because in amidst the interviews, your throat becomes dry. That's a very huge problem. You need to tackle that. Then nextly, sometimes you tend to lose focus, like you don't hear properly what interviewer is saying. So you need to be focused. You need to hear each and every word that the interviewer is trying to say and understand what he wants to get from your side. That's a thing. Then next, you need to stay calm. I know there are moments when you get panicked during the interviews. So you need to stay calm and answer everything in a proper manner. And lastly, it's about the timing. The interviewer wants to get a thing from your side. You should not speak other things. You should answer straight to the point. You should answer what the interviewer wants from your side. And time management is very important during interviews. That's it. That are the problems I faced during my interviews.
Okay, so as you said, we will surely drink much water before an interview and do as you
Yeah,
said.
sure.
So, what kept you motivated and what are your future plans now?
Okay. The thing that motivates me is fear of losing. I have had a bad past experience. I have lost in life some time, and that made me go into some depressing state of mind. And that should not happen again. So that fear of losing helps me to gather focus, gather confidence, gather the courage or the willpower to do stuff. So I suggest everyone to please keep one thing in mind that motivates you to do things again and again. And yes, and my future plans are like, I will be working for the company that I chose for around 2 years, and I will see that if I am getting a proper outcome from that company, or I am growing well in that company. If I am not growing well in that company, I would opt for further studies.
Okay, so our audience also have some questions for you.
Okay.
So, one question is from Praneeth Vadaskar. How you manage your time? Please give your opinions.
Yes, time management plays a very important role. I would suggest you that, guys, we are engineering students. You should enjoy. That's a fact. Till second year, but from the third year, you should buckle up and you should start you should start giving proper time to your studies as well. If you come from a CSIT background, then you should start coding, because coding is the most important thing that you should learn and you should know to get placed in any company. And you should also brush up your technical skills. You should learn new technological stuff. You should learn all the new technologies that are going on in the market. You should keep a check on them. uh, and time management, like, you should invest around 2 to 3 hours daily once you get into the third year, because it will become so easy for you to tackle the interviews and crack the tests that companies conduct.
Okay, so in a chat box, many of the people are appreciating you. That's very nice.
Okay.
And one question is, which language helps you for your placement?
My main language was C++, but I know Java as well. And later on, when I joined internships or my interest grew up, I learned Flutter, I learned Kotlin, and that went on, because internet is a huge ocean. You can learn way lot of things. But yeah, for the coding things, you should go for some basic language that would be easier. For me, C++ was easy, so I went on through that.
Okay, so one question is from Ayush Rao. How you prepare for your coding round?
Uh, Me as an individual, I joined tuitions. First of all, I learned languages, their basics, and how coding is done. Then later on, I have like 450 questions of coding that I got from YouTube. And if you like complete all that coding questions, most of the questions that come in the company rounds will be cracked from that. You can DM me. I will send you that Excel file.
Okay. So how many rounds are there total? Please explain in details.
The rounds of different companies depend on the company to company. For example, when I gave the test of Capgemini, there were around 6 rounds in that one test itself. You need to crack the first round to get into second. You need to crack the second round to get into the third. So there were various rounds. That depends on company to company. Most of the companies have three rounds: one technical, one verbal plus aptitude, and the last one is interview. And yes, you are done.
Okay. So one question is, what type of student you was in your academic days?
Okay, most of my friends are live here. They know what kind of student I was. I am a naughty person. I do lots of fun. I am a fun-loving guy. But at the same, I keep my academic stuff on point because I know at the end of the day, you need to answer yourselves that okay, you are enjoying life at your fullest, but you need to work hard also to earn money, and that's the truth of life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So role of DSA during interview.
DSA plays a very important role. Mostly interviewers ask questions based on data structures and algorithm, and you need to go through DSA. Without that, you can't get placed. That's a fact.
Okay, so did you try off campus?
No, I didn't try off campus. Like I didn't चांस ही नहीं मिला यानी जरूरत नहीं पड़ी ऑन कैंपस आई गॉट प्लेस सो देयर वाजंट एनीथिंग
So one question from Ketki. How many rounds are there total? Please explain in detail. That's a
okay.
great question.
I'll tell you the basic rounds that go on. First of all, there is a technical round where they go on asking technical questions, like technical questions based on your languages or the technologies or whatever. They are mostly technical. Then after comes a coding round, where you are given some problem statements and you need to solve that code in any language possible that is being given there. Then after that, there is a verbal round where they will check your verbal skills, your grammar, your English vocabulary and stuff. And after that, there is a aptitude round. There you will be tested by your aptitude skills, that how in what manner you can think and solve problems. And yes, if you go through all this and crack all this, then the next thing is the interviews. Interviews are also of two types: technical and HR. If you crack the technical one, in the technical round I told you there are technical questions. They can ask sometimes code too. And nextly there is the HR round, where they will seek that what kind of person you are, and they will select you based on that.
Okay, so one question from Ankit. How to prepare third year campus placement?
Third year campus, I guess he means to say that what preparation you should start in third year to get placed, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So I told you, you should start learning from the third year itself. You should take a language, brush up on that, make it so perfect that whatever code, whatever problem statement anyone gives you, you should be able to solve that in a proper manner. And also, you should start learning aptitude as well. There are CRT classes going on in your college. Join that, learn from there, and yes, you are good to go.
Okay, so what kind of questions come in an aptitude test?
In aptitude test, questions comes on, most of the times they are on physics or maths or your visual ability skills, or they show you illusions, and you need to answer according to that. Like there were Newton's question in the 12th standard, while you're coaching, that kind of questions are being asked in the aptitude test.
So how many percentage is required in engineering for applying the companies?
uh, Mostly you should keep an average of around 70 to 75, because most of the companies come with an criteria of 70%, 70 percentage, so you should score above 70 percentage to get eligible for their placement.
Okay.
Yes.
Had you done competitive programming?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Have you done
Okay.
competitive programming?
Not really. I didn't go that much deep into the competitive programming. I just prepared the questions that were given to me, or I found out from the internet, and I practiced that in a proper manner. And it was good to go, because I didn't develop much interest in competitive programming at that moment. But I just learned to code because of the company placements. To be very honest.
Okay, so that's all was from the audience side. So
Yeah.
at last, what message you want to give to our today's viewers?
Okay, so guys, interviews come and go, placements come and go. The most important thing is that you should never lose hope in life. There is always a shining ray that strikes on you. You should be able enough to be confident enough to like tackle every obstacle in life. You should always support your family. You should support your friends who were in your bad times, and you should have a proper mentor in life who guides you and tells you that how life is and how you should go through on the life. You should maintain proper willpower and you should have good mindset. And yes, at last, guys, work smart. That will take you to great heights.
That's such a beautiful message for all of us. Thank you so much, Rajat, for joining us today. It was a wonderful experience to talk with you. And I thank our principal, Dr. S.A. Dhale sir, for his encouragement, our vice principal, Dr. G.M. Asutkar sir, for his constant support, Dean of Training and Placement Department, Dr. S.W. Varade ma'am, for her guidance, Co-Dean, Dr. S. Chaturvedi ma'am, for helping us, Event in charge, Professor Satish Tiwari sir, for always finding out the best. I thank our team Mulakhat, Rohan Bhure for making posters, Aman Bijwe for framing the message, Sarvagya Burune for YouTube Live, and all other team members for the best teamwork. I also thank our audience for attending our today's session, and for more such interview session, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.